Alright, I just bought me a CVA muzzleloader. This is an Optima V2 50 caliber that came with a pre-mounted Konos Pro scope. And I asked CVA, contacted their customer service, and asked if the scope was had thread locker down on the mounting base or the scope rings. They replied back, they don't think so. So I figured I'd better do it. And I had to move the scope back anyway a little bit for my eye relief. And when I started taking out these screws, they were barely like finger tight on both rings. So I'm like, oh, this ain't good. So I took those off, took the scope off, checked out these, and this is secured by 4 screws. 3 here you can access when the scope's off. The 4th one, you have to use their Torx wrench Allen key to get to this one because it's down, it's set into the base, which is no big deal. But when you take this off, this was the same thing. This was just loosely on. So if you get one of these that have the pre-mounted scope, make sure to take it off and verify that everything's tight. If it's not, take it all off. When I took this off, there was a lot of oil underneath here, so I went ahead and got some acetone. Any acetone will work. Degreaser, acetone works great as a degreaser. And I just wiped off all the oil on top of the barrel, all the oil underneath the scope base, got inside the thread holes. Use either Q-tips, if you can, dipped in some acetone, or get you some of the pipe cleaners. These work great for getting into the threads. And then just clean up all the screw holes that the screws are going to be going into. Clean up the threads in here and in here. Take some acetone, dump it on a paper towel like that over there, and just get the screws in and just work them into the paper towel real good and get all the oil and stuff that's off that. And then you want to use either the Loctite blue, which is the medium hold, so this stuff will stay stuck, but it'll be easier to remove. The thread locker red, that's the stuff that you usually need heat with to be able to break loose. So it just depends on how you want to do it. And what I did, I used the blue, and I actually covered the entire bottom of this base, the contact area, from this base to the muzzle. So this entire contact surface between these two, there is a layer of blue Loctite to try to help keep moisture from getting in there and everything else, because I don't plan on taking the scope base off. So I use the thread lock to not allow moisture to get in there, and so hopefully it doesn't rust. If you do plan on moving the scope base at all, or taking it off and putting on rear sights or whatever, you could do the same thing just with a light coat of oil. And that should keep it from rust-proof. Or that should keep it from rusting, excuse me. And then just you thread lock these 4 screws in, and then you thread lock these 4 screws after you position the scope where you need it and everything. Tighten it down. I got these to about 17 or 18 inch-pounds, and I got these at about 25 inch-pounds, I believe. And everything's nice and secure now. So, once again, if you get a CVA muzzleloader and it comes with a pre-mounted scope, make sure that those screws are taken care of. Because if you just think that they're okay, you go out, you start going to sight it in, next thing you know, your scope's bouncing around all over the place because it is going to rock loose on you. So, there you go. Pre-mounted does not mean done. So, there you go. Hope this helps, people. Thanks.